In the previous lecture, we have elaborated the introductory part of this act. As you all know, this act was prepared on the behalf of Government of India by the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India. And in this act, we have elaborated a lot, so many aspects, so many provisions. In simple terms, I will try to use the bilingual method to teach this IT Act or to elaborate with you all. Before that, I have to share some notification which are related to this act. Where you will get this act, just click on meity.gov.in and you can download this act in PDF format. I hope visible and audible both.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Okay. These are 2 points or 2 links which are given. View the IT Act and download the IT Act. If you are willing to view the IT Act, then you can view through this website. If you are willing to download this, then you can download. No problem, no confusion. One more thing I have to share with you all. That in brief, you are willing to read what are the provisions, what are its objectives. For that purpose, you have to utilize the web address, and we must acknowledge the web address which is available before you, www.topper.com. This particular website, introduction of this act, some of the content has been borrowed for the purpose of the dissemination of information about the IT Act 2000. ब्रीफ में आपको बताने के लिए एक वेबसाइट का एड्रेस दिया हुआ है जिसको हम एक्नॉलेज करने के बाद आपके साथ ये शेयर करना चाहेंगे कि आईटी एक्ट क्यों, कब, कैसे बना एंड हाउ इट वाज इम्प्लीमेंटेड. I hope everything is clear till yet. Kamalkant.
Yes, sir.
Okay, there are different chapters which are available in this particular act. Chapter 1, preliminary, then digital signature and electronic signature, electronic governance, attribution, acknowledgement and dispatch of electronic records. Then you can go through the regulation of the certifying authorities. These are some documents, some chapters are available which are provided by a particular website. Is their digital repository of all central and state government acts. If just I have to go through the provisions which are very much common in this nature for the purpose of the preparation of the examination, we have to have a detailed introduction of the IT Act. It is mentioned here. As you all know, this act was notified on October 17, 2000, and why it is prepared, why it was implemented, because of the law IT Act. It deals with the cyber crime and electronic commerce in India. Mean to say there are two basic fundamentals. On that basis, we can say that the act was implemented for the purpose of minimization of or to curb the cyber crime as well as to regulate the electronic transactions in India. In this chapter, we have to look at the objective and the features of the IT Act 2000, why it was implemented, what was its base. From the screen, it is visible and clear that in 1996, United Nations Commission on International Trade Law, UNCITRAL, that organization has adopted the model law on electronic commerce, mean to say to facilitate the electronic commerce transactions, to bring the uniformity in the law in the different countries. Mean to say the prime and the supreme body, that was United Nations Commission on International Trade Law. In 1996, they have adopted and they have drafted a model law for the purpose of the smooth functioning of electronic information or electronic transaction, or to transfer so many information for the purpose of the knowledge domain, etc., etc. They have framed a model law on electronic commerce. Moreover, electronic transactions, how to deal with the electronic transaction, how to curb the cyber crime. This particular UNC, this particular commission has drafted a model law, and after that, it was discussed, elaborated, implemented, and considered by different nations as and when they have prepared their IIT Act. Consequently and similarly, Government of India has adopted the same. यूनाइटेड नेशन कमीशन, जो कि इंटरनेशनल ट्रेड लॉ से संबंधित एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, 1996 में उन्होंने देखा कि यदि हम इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कॉमर्स के ट्रांजैक्शन को देखना चाहते हैं या साइबर क्राइम को कम करना चाहते हैं, तो हमें एक ऐसा कोई मॉडल ऑफ लॉ चाहिए जो हम सभी कंट्रीज में लागू कर सकें। इसलिए इस कमीशन ने अपना एक मॉडल क्रिएट किया, एक ड्राफ्ट तैयार किया कि सभी कंट्री जो भी अपना आईटी एक्ट बनाएंगे या इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कॉमर्स से संबंधित जो एक्ट बनाएंगे, they have to follow this model law on electronic commerce. Similarly, Government of India has adopted and implemented this model law. Moreover, the General Assembly of United Nations, UN, recommended that all countries must consider this model law before making changes in their laws. जो यूनाइटेड नेशन की आम सभा है, उसने भी एक प्रस्ताव पारित किया कि आने वाले दिनों में जब भी कोई भी देश अपने कानूनों में या अधिनियमों में कोई परिवर्तन करेगा, तो हमेशा इस इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कॉमर्स का जो मॉडल लॉ है, इसको ध्यान में रखते हुए इसको चेंज करना चाहेगा। Similarly, the India became the 12th country to enable cyber law after it passed the Information IT Act or Information Technology Act 2000. हमारा देश 12वां ऐसा एक देश बना जिसने मॉडल लॉ को इंप्लीमेंट किया और अपने आप का एक साइबर लॉ बनाया जिसका नाम दिया गया IT Act 2000, Information Technology Act 2000. I hope it is visible and clear, audible. ये सिर्फ आपको ये बताया गया कि एक्ट क्यों बना, कैसे बना। Any one of you can give reply.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next one is, I am using the bilingual method to understand or for the easy grasping of this IT Act. As I told you earlier, the Ministry of Electronic, or you can say Information and Technology, as I told you, the particular website I have shown in the beginning of this lecture. I hope I can again so that you can see. This was Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology where the IT Act is there. But in past, what was that? This IT Act, while the first draft of this act was drafted by the Ministry of Commerce, Government of India as the E-Commerce Act in 1998, but it was redrafted as the Information Technology Bill in 1999 and passed in May 2020. 2000. What I am going to say here, इस पर्टिकुलर एक्ट को बनाने का जो ड्राफ्ट पहला जो प्रारूप तैयार किया गया वो मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कॉमर्स के द्वारा तैयार किया गया, जिसका नाम दिया गया ई कॉमर्स एक्ट 1998। लेकिन उसके बाद इसका रीड्राफ्टिंग हुई आईटी बिल के नाम से 1999 and the same was passed in 2000 in the month of. Now what are the objectives? Because of one act, any one of the act is prepared or drafted by any government or a country, some of the points are to be considered, some of the objectives are to be considered। हम कोई भी यदि एक्ट बनाते हैं कुछ उसके उद्देश्य होते हैं, उनमें से कौन कौन से उद्देश्य थे जिनको देखते हुए हमने ये एक्ट बनाया होगा, which is mentioned in the first slide, second slide and third page. Please read first 3 lines so that we can elaborate. It is before you कि हमारा आईटी एक्ट 2000 में बना क्यों? It provide legal recognition to the transaction done via electronic exchange of data and other electronic means of communication or electronic commerce transaction. Mean to say हमारा यदि इलेक्ट्रॉनिक ट्रांजैक्शन यदि हम करते हैं, चाहे वो मोबाइल से की गई हो, चाहे लैपटॉप से की गई हो, चाहे कंप्यूटर से की गई हो, चाहे आपकी हैंड हेल्ड डिवाइस से की गई हो या वाईफाई के माध्यम से की गई हो, यानी कोई भी आपने माध्यम अपनाया हो, यदि कोई भी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक फॉर्मेट में कोई ट्रांजैक्शन होती है, उसको रिकॉग्नाइज कैसे किया जाए, उसको लीगलाइज कैसे किया जाए, उन चीजों को देखते हुए हमारा ये एक्ट बनाया गया। लीगल रिकॉग्निशन टू द ट्रांजैक्शन डन via electronic exchange of data. It mean to say the legal recognition to the transaction done via electronic exchange of data and other electronic means of communication. कोई भी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीन्स ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन है या इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कॉमर्स ट्रांजैक्शन है, उनको रेगुलेट करने के लिए, उनको लीगल ठहराने के लिए हम अपना काम करते हैं। किसके तहत? ये हमारा पहला उद्देश्य था आईटी एक्ट बनाने का। सेकंड वन इज this also involves the use of alternatives to a paper-based method of communication and information storage to facilitate the electronic filing of documents with the government agencies. पहला ऑब्जेक्टिव क्लियर हुआ कि हमारे इलेक्ट्रॉनिक ट्रांजैक्शंस को लीगलाइज करने के लिए। दूसरा कि हमारा जो भी हम काम करते हैं, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक ट्रांसफर करते हैं, ट्रांसफर ऑफ मनी या डाटा हम ट्रांसफर करते हैं, हम उसको पेपर बेस करते हैं, एंड इट इज डिस्ट्रॉइंग आवर एनवायरमेंट। टू सेफगार्ड द एनवायरमेंट, टू सेफगार्ड द ट्रीज, दिस एक्ट वाज प्रिपेयर्ड एज एन अल्टरनेटिव टू अ पेपर बेस्ड मेथड। हम जब भी कोई मान लीजिए मैसेज देना चाहते हैं, कम्युनिकेशन करना चाहते हैं या बातचीत करना चाहते हैं या मैसेज भेजना चाहते हैं या संदेश देना चाहते हैं, तो हम बाई डॉक, बाई पोस्ट हम उसको भेजते हैं। बट इट वाज पेपर बेस्ड मेथड। हमने इस पेपर बेस्ड मेथड को भी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक वर्जन में कन्वर्ट करना था। यस, फॉर द कन्वर्जन ऑफ दैट पेपर बेस्ड मेथड इनटू इलेक्ट्रॉनिक बेस्ड मेथड वी हैव ड्राफ्टेड दिस एक्ट, एंड मोर ओवर वी हैव टू check this thing on that basis that we have to maintain the information storage. If there is no information, no any data storage, then we are not able to say how it is implemented. Therefore, what we have to do, or what we did that we prepared IT Act 2000 कि हमारा पेपर बेस्ड मेथड भी रहे, इंफॉर्मेशन की स्टोरेज भी हो जाए। क्यों? टू फैसिलिटेट द इलेक्ट्रॉनिक फाइलिंग ऑफ डॉक्यूमेंट्स विद द गवर्नमेंट एजेंसीज so that we can submit our documents to the government of India or the government of agencies. Therefore, it becomes compulsory on the part of us that we have to create a particular act which will facilitate to store the data. पास्ट में यदि हम देखते हैं तो बहुत सारा रिकॉर्ड हमारा स्टोर रूम को या वेयर हाउसेस को कंपाइल करने में यूटिलाइज होता था, बहुत सारा स्पेस। उस स्पेस को हम बेहतर तरीके से प्रयोग कर पाए, इसलिए भी हमने आईटी एक्ट को डेवलप करना चाहा। थर्ड वन, आई होप एवरीथिंग इज क्लियर। उपासना जी।
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Everything is audible and visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Third objective was this act amended the Indian Penal Code 1860, Indian Evidence Act 1872, and the Bankers Book Evidence Act 1891 and the Reserve Bank of India Act 1934. Why? Some of these acts have been changed, have been modified. Some of the provisions were modified in light of this IT Act 2000. जो हमारे अलग अलग अधिनियम बने हुए थे, अलग अलग कानून बने हुए थे, हमने उन कानूनों को या अधिनियमों को परिवर्तित करना चाहा। क्यों? क्योंकि कुछ रिक्वायरमेंट थी जिसकी वजह से हमने ये परिवर्तन करने थे। पहला, क्यों किया हमने परिवर्तन? To grant the legal recognition to all transactions done via electronic exchange of data or other electronic means of communication or e-commerce in place of earlier paper-based method of communication. यानी जो पहले हम मनी ऑर्डर से पैसा भेजते थे उसको मान्य था, उसको हम मान्यता देते थे, रिकॉग्नाइज किया जाता था, चेक के माध्यम से पैसा डाला जाता था, निकाला जाता था। उसके अलावा हमने ये कहा कि यदि हम पैसे को इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मोड से आपको ट्रांसफर करते हैं या लेते हैं, उसको भी वैध माना जाए, लीगल माना जाए। फॉर दैट पर्पस वी हैव टू सी दीज थिंग्स एंड वी हैव टू चेंज आवर कम्युनिकेशन। मैडम को फोन करना एक बार 35 पे। श्रीमती का फोन है ना आपके पास? उनको बोलो ये क्लास आधा घंटा बात कर रहे हैं, कोई मैसेज तो ले लो। Second point is that give legal recognition to digital signatures for the authentication of any information or matters requiring legal authentication. इसका मीनिंग क्या है? यदि मैं कोई भी डॉक्यूमेंट बाय हैंड साइन नहीं करना चाहता हूं, मैं इसको डिजिटली साइन करना चाहता हूं, क्या ये मेरे सिग्नेचर वैलिड होंगे? क्या इन सिग्नेचर को वैलिड माना जाएगा? यस, दिस आईटी एक्ट हैज मेड दिस थिंग इज पॉसिबल। लीगल रिकॉग्निशन किसको दी? डिजिटल सिग्नेचर को। यदि आप डिजिटली सिग्नेचर अपने सर्टिफाइंग अथॉरिटी से सिग्नेचर लेते हैं और उसके बाद उस सिग्नेचर को कहीं पर भी रखते हैं, देन यू कैन सी ओके दिस इज अवेलेबल। I hope you can understand the digital signature. I have an example today. I just downloaded the document. 1 minute. I will show you what kind of the digital signatures are there. This document you are observing, and here it is mentioned digitally signed on date this and this. The digital locker verified. It means to say the authority which issued this document has certified that document is digitally signed on date this and time is this. I hope it is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
That document will be treated as legal or not. This provision was given by the IT Act 2000 only. The third point is, in case of this, not only the digital signature but other matters requiring legal authentication. Any one of the document which is to be recognized as legal and authenticated, this IT Act has given those provisions. IT Act ने वो हमारे को चीजें दी कि हम सिर्फ और सिर्फ यदि हम अपने डिजिटल सिग्नेचर इस डॉक्यूमेंट के ऊपर पेस्ट कर देंगे या इंसर्ट कर देंगे तो ये डॉक्यूमेंट लीगल माना जाएगा. Third one is facilitate the electronic filing of document with government agencies and also departments. Electronic filing of document. It means to say you have given a chance to upload the documents, to submit the return, income tax return, or the other files to the government of India or the other departments. For example, you are willing to take the admission in Chaudhary Devilal University, Sirsa. You have to upload your documents to the IT cell of this university, and who will see that is okay or not. The IT cell will consider those documents. Okay, you have submitted all documents and these are valid. Moreover, you are provisionally admitted. If any kind of the confusion will be there, the IT cell will call you and ask you, okay, submit the original document so that you can match it, so that you can confirm it. It means to say this IT Act facilitate एक सुविधा दी किनको, गवर्नमेंट को या उसके डिपार्टमेंट्स को, कि आप यदि डॉक्यूमेंट इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मोड में भी लेंगे वो भी लीगल माने जाएंगे. Another one is facilitate the electronic storage of data. डिजिटल लॉकर में यदि आपका डॉक्यूमेंट वेरीफाइड है तो आप उस डॉक्यूमेंट को सभी जगह दिखा सकते हैं और सभी जगह वो वैलिड माना जाएगा. इट मीन टू से नो योर कस्टमर KYC, इसका मतलब यदि आपकी कंफर्म है तो डिजिटल लॉकर अपना काम कर रहा होगा. If you have no any hard copy of your driving license or the registration copy of your vehicle, just download all the document in the digital locker and then you can give this document to any authority of the government of India or government of Haryana also. And they have to recognize it as a legal and valid document. आपके पास यदि हार्ड कॉपी ड्राइविंग लाइसेंस की नहीं है तो आप डिजिटल लॉकर खोलिए और साहब जो भी हैं वहां पर अवेलेबल उनको दिखाइए एंड यू विल फील दैट दिस डॉक्यूमेंट इज आल्सो रिकॉग्नाइज्ड बाय दैट फेलो. आई होप इट इज क्लियर टू यू ऑल.
Yes, sir.
यानी आपको लाइसेंस या आरसी या पैन नंबर या इंश्योरेंस पॉलिसी के डॉक्यूमेंट आपको हमेशा फोटोकॉपी रखने की आवश्यकता नहीं है. जस्ट डाउनलोड द डिजिटल लॉकर एंड सी द इश्यूड डॉक्यूमेंट and it will be authenticated and authorized by the UAI Authority of India. Unique Authority of Identification and Authority of India is there, जो आधार कार्ड इश्यू करती है UAIDI. वो अथॉरिटी के माध्यम से जो भी डॉक्यूमेंट दिए गए हैं, इनकम टैक्स के द्वारा जो डॉक्यूमेंट दिए गए, आप उन सभी को अपने इस डिजिटल लॉकर में डाउनलोड करके रख सकते हैं. It means to say that IT Act facilitate the electronic storage of data. कि कोई भी गवर्नमेंट या डिपार्टमेंट क्या इन डॉक्यूमेंट्स को वैलिड माने या नहीं माने, तो एज पर द प्रोविजंस ऑफ द IT Act 2000 they can be legally valid. Now, the another objective was there. Give legal sanction and also facilitate the electronic transfer of funds between banks and financial institutions. It means to say, इंडिविजुअली यदि हम कोई पैसा बैंक में डालते हैं या बैंक टू बैंक कोई पैसा डालता है या कंपनीज बैंक में पैसा डालती है या निकालती है या गवर्नमेंट बैंक को पैसा देती है या लेती है, तो उन सभी ट्रांजैक्शंस को भी कानूनी अनुशंसा प्रदान की जाती है किसके द्वारा? आईटी एक्ट 2000 के द्वारा. Mean to say IT Act 2000 is giving the facility to all the stakeholders to validate all these transactions which are being done by different parties, by different stakeholders through the electronic mode. Next, and the another objective is there: grant legal recognition to the bankers under the Evidence Act 1891. It means to say, nowadays, another term is available there: neobanks, NEO, neo banking system. There is no any building, no any office of the bank, but the banks are working. Example, you can take Paytm Bank is there. You will not see the office of the bank. Everything is available on the internet. Everything is available on the cloud. It means to say the IT Act has facilitated that. Okay, we will recognize you as a bank because of there is no creation, no requirement of that establishment of the building for the purpose of the applicability of the bank. Because of the Evidence Act 1891 and RBI Act 1934 provisions are inviting these proposals. Yes, come to the field. My dear students, you have seen that so many transactions are being dealt every day, every time, every fraction of second. Stock market is also on electronic mode. You are sending the money to the stock market through the electronic mode. You need not to visit the office of the agents or the stock brokers. No. Just create your Demat account, link it with your bank account, do the transaction, and do the trading in the stock market. Simple. Nowadays, different applications are also there. IIFL and other kind of the applications are there. You just download and you can start stock broking. You can purchase the shares, you can sell the shares. There is no need to visit the insurance agencies. Just search the agency name, service provider name, the company's name, Life Insurance Corporation of India. Give your details, submit the documents through online mode, get the policy immediately. Similarly, we are willing to open a bank account in SBI, just go for online option, open it, upload all the documents. It means to say there is no confusion that you have to visit that particular place. And today we are here, maybe due to Corona or not, but the Google Meet or the electronic media, they are authenticating us. They are giving the facilities to us that we have to interact with our students through this electronic mode. How and why it is feasible? It is feasible due to the provisions given by IT Act 2000. I hope up to this level everything is clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes, anyone? Kamal Kant.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now the features. Similarly, the objectives of the IT Act and the features of the IT Act. Purpose is same, but different points. Sometimes these are asked in your examination. That's why I have to clarify these things. One, first feature, all electronic contract made through the secure electronic channels are legally valid. As per the Indian Contract Act 1872, what we feel that contract क्या होंगे? An agreement which is enforceable by law, दोनों पार्टीज मैच्योर होनी चाहिए, रिटर्न डॉक्यूमेंट होना चाहिए, कहीं पर भी ब्रीच ना होने की संभावना हो, टर्म्स एंड कंडीशन सारी क्लियर होनी चाहिए। यहां पर भी यही है। हम जब बैंक अकाउंट ओपन करते हैं बैंक में, तो यहाँ पर कुछ एप्लीकेशन ऐसी है ऑनलाइन के माध्यम से, उसमें आपको अपनी कंसेंट देनी होती है कि यस आई एग्री विद इट, आई एग्री विद इट, आई एग्री विद इट, एंड देन यू कैन डू एन एग्रीमेंट and then finalize your contract. Yes, we authorize our bank, okay, receive the payment if it is done by anyone in my name, and release the payment if it is demanded by anyone from my name. Yes, we authorize our bank, please release this payment, please receive this payment. Because of every time you receive the OTP, when you are willing to release the payment, and that OTP one-time password is the power of attorney which you are giving to that bank. Moreover, the ATM password is there. It is what? It is a token to give the permission to the bank, okay, release this payment, get it encashed. Therefore, all the electronic contract made through secure electronic channels are legally valid, number one. Number two, legal recognition for digital signatures, as I told you earlier. Security measures for the electronic records and also digital signatures are in place. Mean to say the whole record is to be secured. No one can use without the permission of you. जब तक आप नहीं चाहेंगे तब तक उस डॉक्यूमेंट का प्रयोग किसी के द्वारा भी नहीं किया जाएगा. It means to say you have to supply, you have to give the information, you have to give the authority to your bank. Okay, you have to use or not. If you authorize, okay, do it, then the bank will do it. If not authorized, you will not allowing the bank to share my document with anyone. Nobody will share. For the purpose of the know your customer, for the purpose of the KYC, your Aadhaar card is demanded by that particular portal, and you allow, okay, use my Aadhaar card for that purpose. Link my Aadhaar card with my bank account. Link my Aadhaar card with my voter's ID. Link my Aadhaar card with my PPP, Parivar Pehchan Patra. It means to say you are giving the authority, you are giving the consent in that agreement. But it is the responsibility of that portal that they have to maintain the security and safety of that document. It will not be shared on their behalf without the permission of you. Yes. Every time you just give the password or the OTP to use that. Otherwise, nobody can use it. Another one is a procedure for appointment of adjudicating officers for holding inquiries under this act is finalized. What it means to say? Any of the cyber crime happens. I was reading a newspaper in which it was stated that a government of a particular state has mentioned, okay, we will establish cyber crime police station at each and every district level of the state. Why these are required? Because of every day we see and we watch and we observe that most of the people are facing the problem of the cyber security. Some of the transactions are not allowed, but they are being dealt mistakenly or knowingly. But the demand was demanded by the another stakeholders in a different name. One of the persons asking to us, okay, I am speaking from the bank and you will get a policy. Therefore, you give the password to me so that I can transfer the money in your bank account. And it is the maturity amount of your bank, your insurance policy. The person doesn't know who is speaking. And sometimes these kind of the cyber frauds prevails. To avoid these things, to stop these things, to curb the cyber crime, the government of India as well as the government of different states, they are taking initiatives to stop such kind of the crimes. But these procedures are, or the appointment of these adjudicating officers for holding such inquiries are as per the provisions of IT Act 2000. किस तरह से अपॉइंट किए जाएंगे, उनका क्या काम होगा, वो सभी नियम कानून कायदे भी इस अधिनियम के द्वारा दिए जाते हैं. नेक्स्ट वन इज प्रोविजन फॉर एस्टेब्लिशिंग अ साइबर रेगुलेटरी अपीलेट ट्रिब्यूनल अंडर दिस एक्ट. यस, यदि मान लीजिए कोई चीज होती है, साइबर क्राइम होता है, इंक्वायरी अफसर अपनी रिपोर्ट देता है, वो किसको दे? फॉर दैट पर्पस साइबर रेगुलेटरी अपीलेट ट्रिब्यूनल इज देयर which will resolve that issue. Okay, it was authenticated or not, it was legal or not, and what we have to take the action in this regard. Because of that, tribunal will handle all appeals made against the order of the controller of adjudicating officer. Sometimes an inquiry officer says that, okay, it was the crime but not happened. To whom we have to apply? For that purpose, tribunals are set up. Now, another one is, and provision is there, one more of the provision. Sometimes cyber appellate tribunal is not possible to decide, or not willing to decide, or may decide the matter, the case against the stakeholder, where the stakeholder will go. He or she can go to the High Court, then go for the Supreme Court. It meant to say there is a channel. These are the provision, legal formalities to submit your claim, to get your claim, and to legally validate your claims. Next one is, digital signature will use an asymmetric crypto system and also a hash function. It means to say, I will elaborate the digital signature, how it is being used and how it is created, and who will verify this digital signature. In the next lecture, I will elaborate. But the point is that, what is this? Digital signature will use an asymmetric crypto system. Yes, these are generated by the verifying authority as per the provisions laid down in IT Act 2000. Provision for appointment of the controller of certifying authorities to license and to regulate the working of certifying authorities. It means to say that CCA is a person or a authority which will give the permission to use the digital signatures. He or she will authorize, that authority will authorize to a person who is willing to put their digital signature on a document. If they have no license to use those digital signatures, then these are not authenticated by CCA. Now, if the act applies to the offenses or contraventions committed outside India, yes, because of we have adopted model law, which was drafted and redrafted and approved in 1996. That's why some kinds of the crimes which are beyond the jurisdiction of India, but as we have followed the model law, any kind of the transaction which is being dealt outside India, but effect is on India, that kind of the transaction are to be controlled by this act. The next one is, senior police officers can enter any public place, search and arrest without warrant. IT Act has authorized the police officers to arrest a person. There is no need to see the evidence. Just they have to get the document where the cyber crime was created. For example, a person has uploaded hate speech or against the nation, uploaded a video or audio on the Facebook or the other mode of communication. Immediately it will travel in that public domain, and the SP or the senior police officer, they are authorized to pick up that criminal, pick up that person, and take it into custody. And these provisions are given by IT Act. Another one is provisions for the constitution of a cyber regulatory advisory committee to advise central government and the control. Any kind of the suggestion as per the situation arises, as per the circumstances arises, जिस तरह की परिस्थितियां होती हैं, स्थितियां होती हैं, उनको देखते हुए यदि आईटी एक्ट में या उनके प्रोविजंस में यदि कोई बदलाव की आवश्यकता है या उनको कैसे इंप्लीमेंट किया जाए, तो उस चीज को देखने के लिए आईटी एक्ट एक प्रोविजन देता है हमारे को, जिसके तहत साइबर रेगुलेशंस एडवाइजरी कमेटी स्थापित की जा सकती है। यदि एडवाइजरी कमेटी हमें ये बताती है कि इसमें इस आईटी एक्ट में कुछ और प्रोविजंस ये भी डाले जा सकते हैं, देन वी कैन गो फॉर द प्रोविजंस टू द पार्लियामेंट और अपर हाउस और द लोअर हाउस एज पर द रिक्वायरमेंट, and we can get the assent or the consent from the President of India. And these are the features, provisions, objectives of the IT Act. If any query, any question, before you can ask. Otherwise, it is complete. Or we will meet in the next lecture.